We're driving a 2024 Hyundai Sonata. It's a mid-size sedan and it's been refreshed for 2024.
Here's how much it costs.
Coming up, of all the mid-size sedans you could buy, the one we would choose is the Hyundai Sonata. We'll tell you why. But first, interior.
The interior is simple and stylish. I really like this red line. There's also a lighted element under the screen, red stitching.
Those red touches come specifically on the N Line, which is the slightly racier version of Sonata. One way that the Sonata's been updated for 2024 is this column shifter. It frees up this space, place to rest your arm, and a couple of buttons for the drive modes and your camera.
There's also a phone zone right here with a wireless charger and 2 charge ports. But that's not the only place to put your phone. If you're the passenger, you can put it up here in the center console, by your knee, and 2 places in the door.
So if you have 4 phones, I'm sorry, you're probably getting so many annoying calls on a daily basis.
I really like the cup holders. There are 2 sizes.
And they don't block any of the controls. Speaking of the controls, we've got some physical controls. There are also capacitive controls for the climate control, but I find them to be pretty reactive and they don't wash out as much as you might expect in direct sunlight. One complaint, you cannot put a bottle in that door.
Oh yeah?
Okay, it's a very thin bottle. Thank you for immediately disproving my point. But does it fit easily?
You know, I'm just so strong, I can't really tell.
Yeah, we've got soft materials here, and even in the back seat, when you go under the door cards, still soft. When you get in, it conveys a sense of quality. Beneath here, there's a pretty good amount of space for a center console in a mid-size sedan. Speaking of space, I sit behind myself very comfortably. A lot of knee room. Headroom, there is enough for my 5'10" torso, lengthened body situation. Probably a more precise way to say that, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Kiddo, how do you find the middle position?
It's pretty good, except there are no vents there.
Oh, that's a good observation. One weird bit about the Hyundai Sonata, only the hybrid models get vents for rear seat passengers, and I can't imagine why that would be. Getting back to the center position for Kiddo, it looks like there's just enough hump height that her feet land comfortably, but in that middle position, I do not have enough headroom. Do not put me in the middle seat of a Sonata. How do you find seat comfort?
I find the seat very comfortable and supportive. This bolster comes out really far to hold you in place.
And yet, not so far forward that it impedes my range of motion when I'm driving. Back in the cargo area, 15.6 cubic feet, which is competitive for the category. We've got a standard smart trunk, so if you have the key in your pocket, it'll automatically open after 3 seconds. If that's a feature you don't want to use, you can always turn it off. There is an underfloor area, and you can get a spare tire back there.
There are seat releases in the rear cargo area. Once you release them though, it is a long reach to put down the seat. I usually come around the side.
Latch points. Tell them all about them, sweetie.
They have plastic covers that you don't have to remove to install the seat. That means that you won't lose them, and once you remove your booster or a car seat, they snap right back into place.
I don't know if we've ever experienced one that slots the latch connector so successfully to the latch point. You just jam it at the thing and it just goes right to where it needs to go. No, 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 Iguana.
I also think there would be room for a rear-facing car seat back there.
For safety, the NHTSA has rated this generation Hyundai Sonata 5 stars overall. It is a top safety pick from the IIHS. We also have a full suite of standard active driver assist plus 9 airbags. Family, what do we think? Is the Hyundai Sonata family friendly?
For a mid-size sedan, family friendly.
Rear window test. Oh wow, that's almost all the way down. Boop. Armrest test. I've got pretty easy access to both inboard and outboard armrests. It feels initially like it's going to be too firm, but it does have some give to it. Now we got a little bit of stitching on the inside here, but I don't hit the stitching on the outside. I'm going to go 80% inboard, 85% outboard. Let's move on to style.
There is so much style here. I expect a midsize sedan to be a little bit boring, but this is not at all. I especially like the profile, those lines that run down the side connecting the rear taillight to the turn signal. It gives it a lot of dimension.
This is what I call a thorough mid-cycle refresh. They've really restyled the front and rear. A few years back, I went to Seoul. One thing I drove was the Staria minivan, which is not sold here. One of the reasons I thought, like, oh my God, this minivan's so cool, that light bar that goes across. So now Hyundai has incorporated that throughout most of their lineup, and I think it looks really good here. The actual headlights are the things below that kind of look like fog lights. I mentioned earlier we're driving the N Line rendition of Sonata, and it has unique N Line specific front and rear fascias. We also have N 19-inch wheels. Compared to the standard Sonata, which I think still looks cool, this has just a little bit of a racier edge. You don't have that many exhaust outlets unless you're ready to race.
To the grocery store to buy more formula?
Possibly, yes. Another element I really like about this particular Sonata is the paint. That's a nice looking gray. Oh my goodness, are those blue sparkles? They are blue sparkles. It's called transmission blue. It's a zero cost option.
This does not look like zero cost paint.
They do have a couple of upgraded options, but almost all the other paint colors do not cost extra. In similar fashion, Flying Eyes Eyewear offers a wide range of lens and frame styles with no annoying upcharges. That's it. That's the sponsorship message. I can't say it, but I think you know what I mean. If you're in the market for eyewear and you'd like to support our channel, click the link in the description below to learn more about Flying Eyes. One last exterior note, we've only got 5.3 inches of ground clearance, and where we live in the mountains, sometimes you come over crests. I want to be careful not scraping the underbody. So far, we have not scraped the underbody.
Not faux carbon fiber.
We're big fans of the styling of the Hyundai Sonata, but what do you think? Do you like the 2024 Sonata? If so, if no, tell us in the comment section. Also, thank you! Thank you for supporting our channel, whichever way you do support our channel. If you do support our channel, give us a like, subscribe, maybe leave a comment, and if you really love what we do, you can join our channel to gain early access to our videos. Moving onward to In Motion. Now stating for the third time, we're driving the Sonata N Line. It has a sport-tuned suspension, though I do not find it needlessly firm. It's comfortable but controlled. The overall steering ratio is actually really, really quick. Numbers aside, it goes exactly where I want the vehicle to go. It's got that stable agility, which I call stagility. Whee. There's enough composure here that I was compelled to drive more quickly, which revealed I wouldn't mind a little bit more grip from those tires, because I think the chassis could easily handle it. In the N Line, we have a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Floored, low, power comes in, little chirp, and then when it goes to second gear, it almost pulls as hard, if maybe even a little bit harder. To me, that is demonstrative of an engine that can make plenty of power, but they really want to be mindful about how it kicks in. I found that shift to second gear like, okay, yeah, here we go. Now, maybe not enough power coming right off the line. We had a moment before we started filming. It's a blind corner, and eventually you do have to go if you're going to pull across it. And I pulled out, and then a Jeep came around the corner and got very angry at us. There was just not quite enough pull right off the line to snappily get us across. It was a very dicey moment.
Also, that Jeep was going way over the speed limit.
Think about the other people, dude.
Yeah. Kiddo knows what's up. Anyway, there is a bit of turbo lag off the line, and that's something you have to consider when you're pulling out. Another point of consideration, the N Line, unlike the base Sonata, has a dual clutch transmission. It's an 8-speed unit. It's a wet clutch. With a dual clutch transmission, if you don't know, it's got 2 banks of gears, and it's basically just handing off this clutch to that clutch. So you get these really speedy gear changes. You don't have a torque converter. You just have a clutch, a robot operating a clutch. Sometimes it doesn't know when and to what degree to initiate that creep pull that you get when you're going at slow speeds. Consequently, sometimes it's like I'm easing off the brake pedal as I'm coming to that last 5 feet of stopping, and then it just goes gunk. It does not like to creep, and that slow speed behavior, let's say you're in a parking lot, can feel a little awkward. Let's just see if we can experience what I'm talking about. Do you feel that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. As it's starting to engage, it's a little bit of like a shuddering effect. I found that the brakes on the N Line, which are a little bit bigger than the standard Sonata brakes, held up well to spirited driving. Speaking of spirited driving, if you pop it into sport mode, you do get a little bit more eager behavior from the powertrain. Steering heavies up a little bit, but not excessively so.
When you hear the term spirited driving, do you picture a ghost driving a car?
Can you believe how slow this hoe's going? Ooh, use the accelerator, Grandma. It's the one on the right.
Your ghost is kind of a dick.
Ghost driver was driving when you were still a dream in your mama's head.
Wait, what?
Ghost driver doesn't have time to explain to the child.
Why no ghosts have time?
'Cause Ghost has to get home for a nap. He's dead tired.
Ooh, I can use the dad joke graphic.
Yay! Last thought, our tester has the optional highway driving assist feature. It's a hands-on system. It'll steer around corners and maintain distance between you and the car ahead. If my hands are on the wheel, I may as well be driving, but the system works well enough that I did let it do its thing on my freeway drive home. That's what I think about driving the Hyundai Sonata, but what does Sweetie think? Evie's at the wheel. When we get to the end here, I'd like you to do a U-turn.
Wow, that's great.
All right, take a left and leave with whatever haste you are comfortable with. Now, I'm gonna be honest, that is way more haste than I could have possibly guessed. What's happening? Is this one of those, like, you'll know it's a replacement Evie when she leaves from a stop like that? 2 questions. Are you an alien? And did you have enough power leaving from a stop?
I certainly had enough tires, Screech.
But what about the other question?
I turned off stability control during my time behind the wheel, so that is a contributing factor there. Also, I think while you were doing that, you might have hit one of the paddles because you're stuck in second gear.
Oh, okay.
When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year.
This is why I hate paddle shifters. I always
hold the right one down.
Okay, you do the work.
Do you think there's any fun potential here?
Yes. I mean, did you hear all that tire screeching? Whee!
How do you find outward visibility?
Even though the windows are small back there, I think visibility is good.
If we were in the market for a mid-size sedan, are there any game killers that would prevent you from buying a Hyundai Sonata?
No.
Before she reverts back to her tire squealing new nature, I'm going to get back in the driver's seat. All right, let's move on to remarks. We've got an updated setup here for 2024. That is a standard 12.3-inch screen for infotainment duty. A 4.2-inch digital gauge cluster comes standard, but move up a little bit and you get a 12.3-inch unit over here as well. A good amount of screen real estate, and it looks really nice presented under that single curved pane.
The icons are different colors, helps you easily figure out what they are without really looking too closely at them. Menu shortcuts down here and physical knobs. Great, easy to use infotainment system.
Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto comes standard. Previously, that popped up on some systems, but not others, so I'm glad they got that figured out. One thing we're missing in our tester is a 360-degree camera system. They do offer it, but only on the highest hybrid limited trim. Getting back to something we teased in the very beginning of the video, of all the sedans that are available in the market, this is our favorite. Why would we choose the Hyundai Sonata? At a fundamental level, it does all the things a sedan is supposed to do. It offers plenty of space, it drives really nicely. To that, Hyundai offers that 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, which offers a lot of confidence for a new buyer. But the thing I think that really seals the deal is the style. Because as you look at other sedans, yeah, they're good, but are they interesting? Often not.
From an interior usability standpoint, the exterior styling, I love the way it drives. With the exception of that dual clutch weirdness, I would definitely drive a Hyundai Sonata.
Now let's take a look under the hood in a feature inspired by my buddy Brian. Here's how you open the hood on a Hyundai Sonata. There's a well-labeled dipstick on the left side, and then if you want to add oil, you're gonna have to remove that engine cover, but it comes off really easily. And then to the left, there's where you fill the washer fluid reservoir. All right, let's talk engine choices. The basic engine is a 2.5-liter inline 4-cylinder engine. It comes with an 8-speed automatic transmission. New for 2024, you can get that engine with all-wheel drive for only $1,500. Then there's the turbocharged 2.5-liter that we've got here in our N Line tester. That only comes with front-wheel drive, though. Lastly, the Sonata is also offered with a hybrid that comes with a 6-speed automatic transmission. Man, that is very economical.
Sweetie, will you share our trim recommendation?
I certainly will. Our trim recommendation is which trim will give you the essential features you would regret not getting in your Hyundai Sonata, but at the lowest possible price. We're going to recommend the base SEL trim. It includes heated front seats, a power driver's seat, dual zone climate control, rear passenger USB-C ports, and smart key access. Among the competitors for the Hyundai Sonata are mid-size sedans like the Toyota Camry, the Honda Accord, and the Nissan Altima, which is probably racing by you on the right at 120 miles an hour. If you're curious about the 2025 Sonata, it's essentially the same as the version we're driving, except they've added an SE trim back. So look for a lower priced trim that we would not recommend. Hyundai has also changed the SEL convenience package into its own trim called the SEL Convenience Trim. Did we miss any remarks? If so, tell us in the comment section. And now, it is our daughter's time to shine. Child, can you tell us what is your favorite feature of the Hyundai Sonata?
launch control.
Oh, kiddo loves launch control. So the N Line does have a few sporty features. One is active sound design. Now it's on. Fake engine noise, but kind of fun.
I like it.
We also have rev matching on the downshift. And there's something called N power shift. It won't let off the accelerator when it's making those shifts, so you get kind of a push feel. Floored. It's when you're over 90% throttle. Let's feel. See, feel that? Like a little Not only does it give it a racier feel, but it does improve acceleration ever so slightly. But the thing we're here to test, launch control. So we have to go into My Drive mode, select Sport Plus, stability and traction control off, left brake hard, right, launch control, and you can adjust RPM here, so a little more RPM. That little bit of wheel spin, fun.
I liked the way you laughed. Like,
Family, I think we've done a good job enjoying and testing the Hyundai Sonata. May I have a 5? And a 5, and you! Come get your high five. Bam! And now our AI-generated Hyundai Sonata Synopsis Song. It sounds like Queens of the Stone Age, but like worse and with more piano.
You gotta drive, you feel